Overnight on the South today, strong emotions at a housing forum in Queenstown as locals debate the housing crisis with politicians. Another ram raid in Christchurch overnight as two offenders smash their way into and around a major mall. And recycling a business idea. The former manager of Dunedin's second-hand clothing store is opening her own shop. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Absentee property owners who only use their properties 1 month a year are being given some of the blame for Queenstown's rental housing crisis. Two National Party MPs were guest speakers at a housing forum this week, hearing from locals firsthand about the issues in the resort town.
The housing crisis is a situation that doesn't seem to be getting any better, and people are calling for answers. On Thursday, National's housing spokesperson Chris Bishop and Southland MP Joseph Mooney met with more than 50 frustrated people in Queenstown. Their aim was to speak directly to those affected by the issue. The Housing Crisis Forum was hosted at the Salvation Army and was a chance for local residents and workers to voice their opinions to MPs in the midst of a worsening situation.
As the town has slowly grown back onto its feet, we're seeing these issues. They were present back in 2019 and even before then continue to grow, and I would say even now even more pressing than it's ever been.
One complaint was the unregulated state of Airbnb in the resort town, which takes potential rental properties off the market. And many attendees said there seemed to be no short-term solutions to get workers out of cars or campsites and into warm homes as winter approaches. Chris Bishop told the meeting the government needs to roll back changes made to the Residential Tenancy Act in 2020. He says landlords should instead be given more incentive to prioritise long-term rentals over short-term Airbnb.
So the people who ultimately bear the cost of landlords deciding it's too difficult are tenants. That's why I say that the changes have backfired, because they're actually harming the tenants that they were trying to help in the first place.
Despite the range of concerns raised about the rental housing crisis, there was little progress on an immediate fix. However, Bishop reiterated that to solve the problem, more houses needed to be built. He'd also like to see ways of encouraging holiday home owners and others to fill their properties with worthy tenants, following a survey revealing around 27% of Queenstown houses are currently vacant. In Queenstown, the South today.
Southerners joined workers' unions across the world this morning to remember those killed or injured in the workplace. Today is Workers' Memorial Day, with union members and supporters taking part in a commemoration this afternoon at the Otago Workers' Memorial on Princes Street. Unions Otago says 64 people lost their lives at work last year in New Zealand and claims up to 900 people were killed by occupational exposure to toxic substances. The gathering also unveiled a memorial plaque dedicated to the late Jim Kelly, who was the founding president of the Rail and Maritime Transport Workers Union.
He was a definitely driven man who wanted to honour the dead and fight for the living.
White crosses with names were placed near the memorial, one for each of the 93 workplace fatalities in Otago since 1990. The nationwide event also saw the launch of the Not One More campaign, which is campaigning to have corporate manslaughter legislation introduced here. The seemingly never-ending spate of ram raid attacks continues, with Christchurch again hit overnight. Two offenders stole goods from a number of stores in Hornby after using a stolen car to smash through one end of a shopping mall.
Another shocking ram raid in Christchurch after two offenders using a stolen vehicle ploughed through these doors at the Hornby Hub retail area. Police were called to the mall on Main South Road by on-site staff at around 4:30 on Friday morning. The offenders were seen driving through one set of doors and then smashing through the glass doors at the other end of the mall before fleeing the scene. The pair stole goods from a number of stores inside the mall in a seemingly targeted way. The ram raid attack caused significant damage to the two main southern and northern sets of doors. And less than an hour later, police had another early morning call out after vape shop Hooper's Vapor in Lincoln Road, Addington was burgled. The Hornby Hub Mall remained closed for most of Friday, while police investigators carried out forensic work. In Christchurch, the South today.
Recycling and reuse operation Waste Busters has made the surprise announcement that it's closing its Alexandra operation.
The Central Otago enterprise had been in financial difficulty when Wanaka Wastebusters took over the community facility around 8 years ago. However, General Manager Tony Pfeiffer says the Wanaka operation had been subsidising the Alexandra site since that time. The lease on the recycling and reuse site in Boundary Road was now due for renewal, and Pfeiffer says it was time to face up to commercial realities. The shop and recycling services would close on June the 30th, with the drop-off site handed over to the District Council. However, the future of the social enterprise's Wanaka services was secure, with the Wanaka Wastebusters operations continuing as normal. In Central Otago, the South Today.
The former Dunedin manager of a popular second-hand clothing shop is returning for some unfinished business. Clothing store Toffs closed its doors 18 months ago, but now a new recycled clothing business is preparing to open in Princes Street.
There was disappointment from regulars when second-hand clothing shop Toffs closed in 2021 due to financial difficulties from the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, former assistant manager Rose Fisk is looking to recycle the business idea and offer a similar operation with a fresh face in Princess Street. She's confident there's still the demand for this kind of second-hand clothing shop in the city, as she puts the final touches on Infinite Clothing.
We are going to have a section that will be cheaper priced, and that's, for the community, keeping it so people can afford to dress their children and dress themselves in good quality recycled clothing.
Fisk says the increasing cost in rent was one of the most difficult challenges she faced in opening her new shop.
I think the harder thing truly was finding a place, because rents are just crazy. The further you go in town, the crazier it gets.
Fisk will operate the business with the help of her daughter and husband, with the goal of keeping recyclable items out of the landfill, reselling clothes rather than dumping them. In Dunedin, the South Today.
FA Yakane still to come on the South Today. Otago snowboarder Zoe Sadowski climbs back on the winners' podium overseas, and an Invercargill couple scores it big following a mammoth windfall.
Drive away your way with 3 incredible offers on the Honda CR-V Adventure Ready range. Choose from 2.9% finance with 0 deposit, third finance, or lease a new CR-V from just $136 per week. These offers are only available for a limited time, so be in quick. From Honda.
Aero, used by Australia's top bowlers with their unique Z-scoop grip that redefines the game. Machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy, Aero, same line, every time.
Is your old bed keeping you up at night? Time to see my mate John. Great sleep sale! For 3 days only, John's taken 25 to 75% off all beds and bedroom furniture. John's got Dunedin's biggest range of beds, all the sizes, in stock and ready to go right now. Don't suffer your old bed another night. Great sleep sale! For 3 days only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
Furniture from Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Here at Age Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernotago.com.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Ka koe, welcome back. Snowboarder Zoe Sadowski has continued her winning ways on the international stage, shredding up the slopes in Alaska.
Wanaka's Zoe Sadowski has been crowned the Natural Selection Tour 2023 female snowboarding champion, after back-to-back wins on the final two stages. The 22-year-old bet American Hayley Langford in the semi-finals in a tightly fought competition. She then faced Eleanor Height in the finals for the second time this season, with both snowboarders spinning 360s and carving steep cliff faces.
Finding her way back over. Look at that nice pop up and over. A little jack in the box there on that island feature.
Height was the reigning champion, but Sadowski managed to beat the American by 1 point, with her 88-point score from the first finals run topping the leaderboard. She says it felt insane to win the Alaska stop, which she's found challenging in the past.
I really wanted to do something I was stoked on and get some good snow and find some airtime, and yeah, it's pretty psycho up there, so I'm just stoked to make it down in one piece.
The Natural Selection Tour title is Sadowski's 23rd podium finish in a row. From Alaska, the South Today.
Southland's newest millionaires have joked they were surprised to not have a heart attack after checking their Lotto numbers this week. An Invercargill couple have had their lives changed forever after winning more than $17 million in Powerball First Division, but insist they'll keep on working. But how would you spend such a huge prize?
One lucky Southlander woke up on Thursday morning a millionaire. Lotto confirmed a player in Invercargill became $17.2 million richer after winning Wednesday's Powerball and First Division prizes. It's the second largest prize ever won in Southland, after a $20 million result in 2012. Many local residents have been speculating on what they'd do if they won such an impressive prize.
Retire and spend it all on traveling around the world.
Maybe take art lessons in Rome or something super extravagant like that.
Eat, because I really like food, so yeah, eat is the first thing.
I'll go to Maldives. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Honestly, I'd probably buy too many cars.
I would do my level best not to tell a single person and buy a shitload of property in Queenstown and Wahiki and Wanaka.
Well, if I had $17 million, I wouldn't have time to give interview, right?
Others insisted they'd try to help loved ones or give money away to good causes.
I'd probably lose a bit of hair trying to think of something first, but I think family and friends.
Make a substantial donation to the Hawthorndale Care Village.
Help my family. I'd perhaps have a housekeeper and a gardener.
Even Invercargill Mayor Nobby Clark was able to dream of becoming a millionaire.
Oh, look, I'd go and buy the ADT and then I could be your boss. And wouldn't things change then?
The winning ticket was purchased on the My Lotto website, with Lotto confirming the lucky winner had already come forward to claim their giant prize. In Invercargill, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Two National MPs have met with local residents to hear their concerns about Queenstown's rental housing crisis. Christchurch police were called to a serious early morning ram raid at the Hornby Hub Mall, targeted by two offenders. And the former manager of a Dunedin second-hand clothing shop is recycling the business idea and opening her own store. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hi Mike.
Good, Leanna.
What can we expect in the weekend paper?
We'll focus on cancer tomorrow, which obviously been a serious and ongoing issue in the region for several years now. We have an issue which has arisen from an Official Information Act request, which has discovered that the government's about to change the way that cancer targets are reported, which means it'll be much more difficult to monitor exactly how well our health service is going.
Right.
Also, we've got a tragic story of a couple of brothers who both caught cancer at around about the same time, one of whom's got a good story to tell, the other one not so good, sadly.
That reality of cancer.
Indeed. On a brighter note, Doc Ranger Jim Fife, a local identity around Otago,
Yes.
well known for his work saving our wildlife, has received an award as part of the Wild Dunedin Festival. And also we've got, as always on a Saturday, the Mix feature magazine and coverage of sport, including the Highlanders' big do-or-die game tonight.
Very important one over in Aussie. Thank you for sharing this evening, Mike.
Quite right.
And time now for a look at the weekend weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by Mall Map.
the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, there's a fine weekend ahead with mild north to northwesterly airflow right throughout the region. Heading to the top of the South Island, it'll be fine with light northerlies in Nelson with a high of 18 tomorrow. Greymouth's clear too with 17 and expect 16 in Christchurch with nor'easterlies. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Bright blue skies and nor'easterlies through here tomorrow. Ashburton heads for 16, while Timaru and Oamaru head for 17 degrees. Westwards to the Central Lakes, while stunning autumnal conditions through here tomorrow. Expect highs of 18 in Wanaka and Alexandra with light winds, and Queenstown isn't too far behind with 17 degrees. Heading further south, clear skies with nor'westerlies over here tomorrow with highs of 17 degrees apiece in Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. And down to the deep south, cool tonight in Invercargill dropping to 5 degrees. Saturday's fine and sunny with high cloud and nor'westerlies on a 17-degree day. Then Sunday might be a touch windier but still an well-rounded, lovely day with a top temperature of 18 degrees. And finally heading to Dunedin, areas of low cloud and mist with an overnight low of 5 degrees, and that fog will kickstart the weekend too before opening up to a sunny, clear day with breezy afternoon winds and a high of 17. Into Sunday, it's looking good again with high cloud and mild northerlies and up to 18 degrees as the high. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, and you can also now follow us on Facebook. Just search for the South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. But coming up after the break is this week's edition of Global Insight, where Professor Robert Patman discusses the ongoing civil war that has broken out in Sudan. We'll see you again next week. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.